and welcome to the first Hops and Highways of the new year. We hope you guys had a safe and happy holiday and are ready to hit the ground running in 2021. If you have never joined us for Hops and Highways before, my name is Jessica Lombardo, and I'm editor of Asphalt Contractor Magazine. And I'm joined, as always, by Dormy Roberts, the associate editor.
It is so good to be back. Hops and Highways is a weekly newscast dedicated to the road building industry. Each Friday, we share the top stories from the week, discuss best practices, and highlight one crew during the Build America Friday segment. But first, we start every show by talking about our favorite topic. Besides asphalt, of course, it's beer.
Yeah, so Hops and Highways is definitely the highlight of my week. And really, everyone, what a week it has been. Why did 2021 start like this? I don't know. But to start this year off, I am drinking Dragon's Milk Vanilla Chai. And Dragon's Milk is a beer made by New Holland out of Michigan. And every year they come out with all these new flavors. They have a flavor called Stroopwafel. They have a flavor called S'mores. And this one is Vanilla Chai. And I love vanilla chai lattes. So obviously this is one of my absolute favorite beers. So Dormy, what are you having today?
Well, that sounds delicious, Jess.
I'll share with you maybe next time.
I am drinking Accumulation by New Belgium Brewing, which it's an IPA. You know, I love those full body hops that hit you right in the face. So it's a very refreshing beer and a great way to start 2021.
Yeah, so we're going to toast to 2021 being a better year than 2020, even if it hasn't started out that way. We have a lot of weeks to go. So we're also going to be cheersing to paving better roads this year, and we're going to hopefully help you with that. So cheers. So diving right into some news that you may have missed while you were on your holiday break, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, all that. You're not really into the news. So if you didn't hear, Congress passed a $900 billion COVID relief package and $1.4 trillion government funding package that gives critical pandemic aid to Americans while securing funding for federal agency operations through September 2021. President Trump, he signed the measure into law on December 27th. The legislation, it provides full funding for highway and airport construction projects in 2021 and $10 billion allocated to states in support of emergency relief for state transportation department.
So HR 133 contains another package of COVID aid totaling around $900 billion, with the final agreement providing $45 billion in transportation-specific aid for various sectors, including air carriers, airports, Amtrak, mass transit, and state DOTs. For highway and airport sectors, the bill distributes $10 billion in funding to surface transportation. And of that $10 billion, $9.8 billion is to be allocated to state DOTs through the Surface Transportation Block Grants Program, while $115 million is for the Tribal Transportation Program, $36 million is allocated to the Puerto Rico Highway Program, and $9 million is for the Territory Highway Program.
Yeah, so there's also going to be $2 billion given to the grants and aid for airports. And of that $2 billion, $1.75 billion is for direct grants to commercial service airports. $200 million is for airports to provide relief for concessionaires from rent and minimum annual guarantee payments, $45 million for general aviation airports, and $5 million for small communities to help address air service issues. These funds are specifically targeted to keep airports open and can be only used for operations, personnel, cleaning, and debt service. The federal share of costs is 100%, and we will cheers to states finally receiving some COVID relief money, even if it's not enough, and we always need more, but it's a start. So cheers.
Cheers. So if you may or may not know, the inauguration day is just 12 days away, and infrastructure is set to be a focal point for the Biden administration, and his incoming transportation department is expected to commit heavily to repairing the nation's failing public transportation systems. The president-elect has laid out a 10-year, $1.3 trillion plan to rebuild America's infrastructure and reshape the energy sources and technologies that power it.
So last month, Biden announced that former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg will be tapped to be Secretary of the Transportation Department. And so if he's confirmed, he will head to Washington and take responsibility for nearly 55,000 employees, an $87 billion budget, and more than a dozen administrations overseeing the nation's airspace, highway system, pipeline, safety, and so much more. It's a big job.
So sources have been leery of Buttigieg as Secretary of Transportation, given his thin resume on the topic. However, Buttigieg did lay out a $1 trillion infrastructure plan as part of his Building for the 21st Century infrastructure plan during his presidential campaign.
Yes, so his proposal was one of the few to actively discuss specific transportation funding challenges, such as the Highway Trust Fund, which we talk about every week, the solvency of it, how are we going to fund it, how are we going to keep it going for years to come. And it proposed injecting $165 billion to the Highway Trust Fund to maintain solvency through 2029, with the new revenue mainly derived from rolling back corporate tax cuts and related policy changes. And we certainly hope he can urge congressional leaders to come up with a plan to fix the Highway Trust Fund when he is confirmed.
And breaking news from yesterday, acting U.S. DOT Secretary Elaine Chao resigned, citing the violence at the Capitol as the reason. So Chao said that she was deeply troubled by the entire avoidable violence on Capitol Hill on Wednesday. So her resignation is effective starting on Monday, but Chao said she would help her announced predecessor, Buttigieg, take responsibility for running the department. So let's drink to a smooth transition of power and a more peaceful nation moving forward.
I don't want to jinx anything, but can it get much worse? I don't know. Maybe I just jinxed it, but cheers to hopefully being better. So if you're in the northern half of the country where your crew is laid off for the winter, I know it's horrible. It's middle of January almost and you're bored, but you're probably wondering what to do with that downtime. And one thing we can't stress enough during the off season is maintenance. If you take care of your equipment, it will take care of you. And if you want your equipment ready to perform for the paving season, you need to make sure it's properly maintained, and now is a great time to do that.
So today we're going to talk about maintaining your asphalt paver. A paver that is not properly maintained can lead to penalties, additional costs, and a poor reputation among customers. Such, a paver will invariably cause uneven and premature wear to components, leading to costly replacement, which negatively impacts the cost of ownership.
Yeah, so throughout the year, you should have been completing daily maintenance checks on your paver, so you should be aware of any issues that you saw. But during the off season, you need to thoroughly clean that paver, removing all covers and guards to gain access to the fines that are hard to reach, that you can't get to during that daily cleaning routine. At this time, you can also complete a more in-depth check to make sure the screed is not wearing prematurely. Screed plates, nose bars, temperature sensors, heating elements, extension tubes, pre-strike-off plates, depth control cranks, vibration, tamper motors, and shafts. Those are all wear parts on a screed. Make sure you check them because they're in direct contact with the mix and they're integral to the extension's function. If they don't look good, replace them.
You will want to check the thickness of the screed plates using calipers or a micrometer, considering the metal used in the construction of the plates and the type of mix that's being placed. So when screed plates are worn to a minimum thickness specified in the maintenance manual, the screed plates should be replaced for optimal screed performance.
You also want to make sure you're checking the augers, auger drive chains, conveyor drive chains, and make sure that there's no wear and tension on those. Inspect the drive tracks, idle rollers, and drive system for wear operation as well. The engine and hydraulic coolers should also be inspected and cleaned. Flush and change hydraulic and coolant systems, gearboxes, and other fluids as well while you're at it.
So along with everything else that we've just talked about, deflectors on the front of the screed guard the conveyor, and flashing on the front of the paver should be checked and replaced if necessary. All these checks can help ensure a reliable start and a productive paving season.
Yeah, so basically, if you're not confident that a component on your paver is going to last the whole next season once you get it out on the job, replace it now. You have it in, you have the time, just go ahead and do it. And you can make sure that you check with your equipment dealer as well and take advantage of any rebuild offers that they might have going on right now. That will ensure that your maintenance is being done thoroughly and correctly, especially if you have any warranties on that. We are going to put the link to the article below for a full breakdown of maintenance items for your paver. So check that out when the video is done.
And of course, this is assuming your area has a down season. If not, It's your responsibility to schedule downtime to keep sure that your paver is properly maintained. If you're paving year round, take advantage of those days that you're not paving. So when it's rainy, when it's cold weather, not convenient for paving, check those wear and tear parts. This can include any time, like I said, the downtime that you can schedule. And let's drink to a well-maintained paver that meets bonus incentives every time.
Every time. Cheers. So yesterday on Asphalt Contractors Facebook page, I posted a request that you all share photos with us of your favorite projects over the last year that we can highlight during Build America Friday. This is a segment of the show where we give a shout out to one crew and we talk about a job that they did, and we just really give them props for their hard work, because you guys are the ones out there day in and day out putting your lives at risk to build our roads, and it's really important that we share your hard work. We received so many great submissions for that, and it's clear you guys really killed it in 2020, and over the next few weeks, we're going to be highlighting a few of those projects. It's going to really help us to remember the good times during paving season and get us through this cold winter until the season starts back up again in the north.
The submission we're highlighting this week is from Christina and the crew at Pike Industries. They worked on a New Hampshire DOT project. The section of roadway pictured was just one of 5 sections. I don't have the picture right now. We'll make sure to post it later. The project totaled 20.2 miles of pavement preservation.
So the Conway section that they worked on was 2.8 miles of 3/4 inch full with paver shim. The crew would have laid 2,513 tons of asphalt in just 2 shifts if the rain would have held off, but unfortunately it didn't.
The crew also had to raise structure. So put down 300 tons of shovel gravel, mill almost 1,500 square feet of asphalt, and lay 62,055 linear feet of reflective paint. There's a lot that we are going to drink to, and thanks for your hard work.
Yes. Cheers to the crew at Pike Industries. Well, we made it through the first week of the new year, and I can't say that really started off better than 2020 ended, but at least we have beer and each other to help us through these crazy times, right? So we will see you next week, and we're going to be talking to Kieran Bailey with Hayes Recruiting. He's going to tell us about the positive outlook for hiring and career growth in the industry, so that's going to be really exciting. In the meantime, please reach out to us with photos of your crews, anything you want to see on future episodes, beer recommendations, or just, say hi. You can shoot us a message on Facebook or, email us if you have that. So we'll see you next Friday, and cheers to the weekend, everybody. Have a good one.
Cheers, Jess.
Cheers.
Watch Hops and Highways live every Friday at 3 p.m. on Asphalt Contractors Facebook page, or catch the replay on forconstructionpros.com/videos.